You know, have you ever really stopped to think about the words you use every single day? Words like brother, or three, or nine. They feel so simple, so familiar, right? Just English. But what if I told you that those words are actually fossils? Yeah, fossils, hiding a secret history that connects you and me to an ancient, lost world. Come on, let's start digging.
Okay, take a look at this. We've got four completely different languages here, separated by thousands of miles and thousands of years. We have English, Latin from ancient Rome, Sanskrit from ancient India, and Gothic, which is an extinct Germanic language. But just look at these basic words: brother, frater, bratar, brother, or nine, novem, nava, nun. The resemblance it's just uncanny. It's a puzzle that had people scratching their heads for centuries.
So, what is going on here? I mean, is this all just one massive, mind-bending coincidence? Or is it a clue, a kind of linguistic breadcrumb trail leading us back to a single, common ancestor? Well, in this explainer, we're going to follow that trail together.
So here's our roadmap. We're going to start with the mystery itself, then we'll meet the prime suspects. After that, we'll see how linguists have rebuilt their entire world using just words. We'll touch on some of the controversies, and finally, we'll figure out what this all means for the very language you're hearing right now. You know, the detectives in our story are what we call historical linguists, and for the past 200 years or so, they have been building a pretty compelling case. Their prime suspect in this global word mystery isn't a person, it's a people, and the single unwritten language that they all spoke.
They call this language Proto-Indo-European, or just PIE for short. Now, this is the really cool part. PIE is not a discovered language. Nobody has ever dug up a PIE dictionary or a stone tablet. No, it is a scientifically reconstructed language. It's been completely reverse-engineered by comparing all of its descendants. It's kind of like a biologist reconstructing what an ancient ancestor looked like just from the DNA of its living offspring.
And wow, what a family it is. From that one ancient source, from PIE, we get these huge branches. The Germanic branch, well, that gave us English. The Italic branch gave us Latin. And through Latin, we get French, Spanish, Italian. The Hellenic branch, that's Greek. And the Indo-Aryan branch give us Sanskrit and all its modern descendants, like Hindi. All of them, they're like distant cousins, all sharing the same linguistic grandparent.
Okay, so if PIE was never actually written down, how on earth can we possibly know anything about the people who spoke it? This is where the detective work gets really fascinating. Linguists use these reconstructed word fossils as evidence to piece together a picture of their lives, their society, even their world.
Let's start with family. The PI roots for brother and sister, they're astonishingly close to our own words. But look at this one. The root for woman, Gwen, that eventually gave us our word queen. And potus, meaning master, gave us words like potent. Just from these few words, we can already start to see a society built around some pretty clear family roles and hierarchies.
Now this is a fantastic example of how complex their world was. From a single PIE root, ghostus, which just meant stranger, English eventually got two words with totally opposite meanings. A stranger could be a welcome guest, or that very same stranger could be a threat, someone who is hostile. That one ancient word contains the entire social dilemma of how to treat an outsider. How cool is that?
All right, let's look at their technology. We've found their words for horse, cow, and for plowing, so we know they were farmers. But this is the really crucial part. They had words for yoke and for wheel. This is huge. It strongly suggests that the PIE speakers were among the first cultures to really harness the power of the wheel and domesticated animals for things like transport and farming. A real game changer.
This next one really shows you just how deep their worldview is baked into our language. For the PIE people, wealth wasn't gold or silver, it was cattle. Their word for livestock was peku. Over thousands of years, as economies changed, this word evolved into the Old English word feo, which meant both livestock and property. And that eventually gave us our modern word for a payment, a fee. Your money literally comes from their cows.
And guess what? They could count. Just listen to a few of these reconstructed numbers. Treish, septim, dectim. Sound familiar? Even after 6,500 years, you can still hear the echoes of our 3, 7, and 10. It's a direct audible link right back to our prehistoric ancestors.
But, like any good detective story,
this case isn't completely closed. Reconstructing a language that left zero direct evidence is a monumental scientific achievement for sure, but it's also a theory, and it comes with its own debates and controversies.
So, while the PIE hypothesis is definitely the dominant model in historical linguistics, it's really important to note that it's not universally accepted without question. There are different theories that propose different timelines, different homelands for the speakers, and some even challenge the whole single ancestor model itself.
And to see how these ancient theories can become a part of very modern conversations, look at this. This source, which is titled Anti-India Linguistics in Hindi, it represents a perspective that challenges that mainstream narrative. Instead of a migration into India, it proposes that the language family might have actually originated within India and spread outwards. Now, we're not getting into the political arguments here, but it's a really powerful example of how these theories about our deep past can intersect with contemporary questions of national and cultural identity.
So where does that leave us? What's the verdict on our big word mystery? Well, the evidence strongly suggests that all those strange similarities between languages are no coincidence at all. They are the echoes of a shared history preserved in the very fabric of our speech.
So let's just recap what we've uncovered, shall we? A massive family of languages, all the way from Ireland to India, very likely descends from one single ancestor, the Proto-Indo-Europeans. By reconstructing their words, we can see these little snapshots of their lives, a world of farmers, families, and the very first wheels. It means the words you speak every day are like a living museum, and your vocabulary is a direct connection to a shared prehistoric past.
So the next time you talk about your family, or you pay a fee, or you simply count to 10, just remember, you're not just speaking. You are channeling thousands of years of human history. Which leaves us with one final thought to chew on. What other secrets are hiding in the words you speak every day?